Hey everyone, it's Lee, Delta Boy 767, and I'm here tonight to do another fragrance review. And this one is one of my favorite men's fragrances of all time. And I will say that this fragrance here is one that should be appreciated by more people than what it is normally. And to me, it's just a simply magnificent. So I'm going to tell you a little story, first of all, and I know I'm going to have the description up top of what the actual fragrance review is going to be, but I figured I'd just throw in a story just to make it cute anyway. So this fragrance I have been wearing since it was released in 1995, and first it was released in two versions. You could find two versions of it, an eau de toilette and eau de parfum, and I normally would wear the eau de parfum because it was more concentrated and much more structured than the eau de toilette. And as most of you know by now, and from my fragrance reviews, I prefer an eau de parfum simply because you can have two fragrances from the same design house, the exact same brand, same name and everything, and one's eau de toilette and the other one's eau de parfum, and they will smell completely and totally different. But so I never did really get into the eau de toilette much with this particular fragrance that I'm going to review, so I didn't have much experience with it, so I just kept buying the eau de parfum. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I would say, give or take, they discontinued the eau de parfum here in the States, and it was pulled from all the department stores, and you could no longer find it anymore, along with the eau de toilette. So I wasn't too worried because I still had enough left, but when I finally ran out, I started to look at bigger department stores, more elegant department stores than the ones I have around here, and they were no longer carrying it either. They had discontinued it from their department stores, but the design house still made it. But it was the eau de parfum I'm talking about now, but it was no longer available here in the States. It was only available to Europe. So, as with most fragrances that are in Europe that get discontinued over here, is because Europe appreciates they either appreciate that fragrance more, and the sales of it are stronger in that country, over in Europe, and weaker here in the States, so they discontinue it from the US market, which is something that is puzzles and beyond me, because there's plenty of people that do prefer this in both eau de toilette and eau de parfum. So I was kind of left high and dry, and I knew that eau de toilette was on the market. However, I kind of shunned it because I didn't have much experience with it, and I didn't know what to expect of it. I didn't know anything about it because I have never tried it. So I kind of forgotten about it for a little bit. I would still look for it, but I would find it on online retailers, and I couldn't find it in any stores. And all the online retailers that I would find it, all the online retailers that would have it or would carry it, was all in eau de toilette. And personally, I don't like buying from online retailers, and nothing against them. It's just that I have been burned once before and sold an original, and come to find out it was a knockoff and fake, and from a very, very well-known fragrance online fragrance store. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was very known, very popular. So I don't blind buy anything. I want to walk into a store, grab the tester, spray it on my skin, wait for about 45 minutes for it to dry down to its, somewhat base note, and then make my purchase or make my decision. Well, everywhere I would look, they would have it online, and no department stores would have it. And occasionally, somebody would tell me it would turn up in a drugstore somewhere, and that would be totally false. It was not in any drugstore. But anyway, long story short, I was visiting a friend of mine in a small town America mall here recently, a couple days ago, and I see this. I was inside of the Belk's department store in this mall, and mind you, this is small town America, very small town, which, whatevs. So I was in the Belks and I was testing out smelling the colognes and the perfumes and whatnot and all that stuff. And I was just, you know, because I work in the fragrance or the cosmetic and beauty industry myself, so I'm addicted to fragrances, completely and totally addicted. I love to smell good and I love to be chic and posh, so that's just me. But so I was at the Belks and I was adoring all these fragrances and colognes, and they all smell the same. And mind you, with men's fragrances now, we have a tidal wave and tsunami of nothing but aquatic, ozonic, floral, flowery fragrances that are just flooding the market. And it seems like men are not supposed to smell like men anymore. They're supposed to smell like a flower or fruity or feminine. And so I believe, in my personal opinion, and this might offend somebody, but if it does, I don't care. I believe that, and this is no offense, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if it offends you, I'm sorry, and you'll get over it. But I believe that the women's perfumes and the women's cosmetics and whatever is completely taking over the market, and it's starting to slide into the men's fashion as well, to where nowadays, if men don't smell like a woman, and you know, they're not accepted. And to me, that's just bogus. I mean, if I'm going to wear a men's cologne, damn it, it better smell like a man. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't wear women's fragrances, because I do. Some can be classified as a men's cologne or a men's fragrance, and if it's spicy enough, or if it's oriental or woodsy enough, or you know, just got a right balance of sweetness and woods, then it can. And females, women's fragrance, then it can be classified as unisex in my book. So that's just my opinion. But so anyway, among this whole wave of aquatic, ozonic fragrances that are on the market today for men's fragrances, I was kind of getting discouraged, because I was like, all these fragrances smell the same. And I was telling my friend, I was like, they all smell the same. I was like, well, try this one and try that one. He goes, I'll wear this one all the time. And I was like, look, they all smell like a flower. They all smell like a fruit. They all smell like something aquatic. And if I want to smell aquatic, I go jump in my pool in the backyard, okay? Or if I wanted to smell like a flower, I'd go lay in a bed of gardenias and roses. If I wanted to smell like a fruit, I'd go rub myself with citrus oil and lemon oil and smell like a fruit. I don't want to smell like a fruit. I want to have that masculine scent if I'm going to wear a men's fragrance. So, and like I said, you know, the women's fragrances are taking over everything. And there's nothing wrong with women's fragrances. I do love some of them. Some of them are chic, posh, and gorgeous. And God, they should make it in men's. It should be a men's fragrance, because it is just absolutely gorgeous, some of the women's fragrances out there. But it seems like nowadays it's men, they're wanting men to smell like a flower, or lily of the valley, and lang lang, and just whatever. But anyway, so we walk out of the Belks, and to corner of my eye, I see perfumes, and I'm like, oh my God. So I turn and I look in the store, and it's a big perfume store, and those are becoming rare and rare. You don't see perfume stores anymore. Even in the big cities, they've pretty much vanished, all but gone in the big cities. So Art says, I'm going to stroll in there, and I walk in there. My friend's like, oh God. And he's like, I'll meet you back. He goes, I'll meet you back in a few minutes. When I was like, fine, go do your thing. I'll see you back here in about whatever. Because he knows me in fragrances. When I get around fragrances, it's the end. That's it. So, only because I work in it and I'm just addicted to fragrances, whatevs. But anyway, so I go walk in there and I asked the lady, I said, do you have this particular fragrance? She's like, yes, we do. And I just lit up. And I says, okay, let me ask you this other question. I said, is it eau de parfum or is it eau de toilette? She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, we only have the eau de toilette. And I says, I said, can you get me the eau de parfum? She goes, eau de parfum is very hard to get here in the States. It's been discontinued. She goes, we could probably get it from Europe, but it would cost you twice as much. And I said, fine. I said, let me test the eau de toilette. I said, do you have a tester of it? And she hands me the tester, and I spray it on my hand. And I said, I'm gonna wait around for about 45 minutes. Do you care? I said, because I want this to dry down enough to where I can buy it, because the scent, that particular fragrance that I used to wear in the eau de parfum was locked in my head forever. I mean, it was imprinted in my mind forever. And so I let it dry down for 45 minutes, took a sniff, and I was like, you know what? That's not much different from the eau de parfum. The only thing different, the only thing that was different was the actual concentration. Most of you know that an eau de toilette is a little weaker than an eau de parfum. Eau de parfum has got more of the actual fragrance in the mixture or in the juice, whereas an eau de toilette is less concentrated. So I said the structure is pretty much the same. The base and the heart is pretty much the same as the eau de toilette, but the projection was, because what I do is usually I'll wave my hand if I spray it on my arm or something. I'll just wave my arm in the air and then step back a few feet, and if I can smell it, then I can determine the projection of it. Well, the projection wasn't that strong. Neither was, don't get me wrong, it was very strong, but not as strong as the eau de parfum was. The ciliage was really good. It's a ciliage monster. Either way you go in either version. So I said, okay. I said, I'll purchase it. I said, I will buy them. I said, I want the biggest bottle you have. And she says, okay. She goes, we've got the 3.3 ounce and we also got the 1.7 ounce. And I said, I want the biggest bottle, the 3.3 or 100 mLs. She goes, however, we also do have it in a gift set. And I said, gift set? Because I haven't seen a gift set of this stuff in a few years, couple of years. And I said, really, what comes with the gift set? She goes, you get the shower gel, you get the eau de toilette, and you get the a nice little toiletry bag. And I said, do you have any other toiletries besides just the eau de toilette? I said, do you have any other deodorants? Do you have any of the aftershave lotions? Anything? She goes, no, the only thing we've got is the shower gel that comes with the gift set. Sorry, it's late, guys. It's past 12 o'clock at night, 12:30 at night for me, so it's late. Anyway, overlook it. So I said, okay, fine, I'll take it. As long as it's got the 1.3, the 3.3 ounce big bottle, I said, fine. I said, but I want to smell it first. I want to make sure it's the same thing because I'm picky. I'm very picky about my fragrances. So I pulled it out of the box, sniffing it. I was like, fine, it's the same, whatever. I said, it's not a knockoff because I'm very, very cautious. And I can spot a knockoff, honey, from 20 miles away. I'm very hard to fool with knockoffs. On to the fragrance. This is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and it was released in 1995. And this, my friends, is Opium pour Homme. This is classified as an oriental woody fragrance. It's sweet as well, not as sweet as say Angel Man or Paco Rabanne 1 Million, but it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's not syrupy sweet is what I call it, but it is classified as a sweet oriental fragrance. This stuff smells amazing, guys. Let me tell you something. This fragrance is just as the name describes, opium, and it's very addictive because at first spray after it dries down, you want more. You want to have it around you at all times. You want to be enveloped in this stuff. And the name is true to the fragrance is true to the name. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a very well designed, well balanced, extremely masculine fragrance. I haven't smelled anything on the market that is quite close to this. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there really is anything on the market today that is close to this. Some of the notes in this are star anise, Szechuan pepper, vetiver, vanilla, I believe bergamot, and amber. I know amber's in here, but by God, at first spray, it's kind of got that tobacco-y, leathery kind of scent, and then as it dries down, it's more of a sweeter, how am I going to put this? Sweet, kind of romantic, very sensuous smell. And I swear to God, guys, when I walked out of the store, when I walked out of the mall, it was not 15 minutes that I was out of there after I made my purchase. This stuff had dried down, the stuff that I sprayed on my hand, and it was still projecting. Not as much as the eau de parfum does, but it does project. I had 7 women stop me to ask me what I was wearing. They dead in my tracks. They chased me down and they stopped me and said, "Excuse me, sir, what are you wearing? We just have to know what you're wearing because it smells amazing." And I told them, they're like, oh my God, I've got to have that for my husband or my boyfriend or whatever. And guys, if you want girls to notice you, if you want girls to say how sexy you smell and how romantic you smell, then you need Opium pour Homme. Let me tell you, you need this stuff. This is the 3.3 ounce eau de toilette. And for my gay boys, I mean, this works wonders too. If you want to land that guy in the bar, or if you want the guy to notice you, you want to smell like a man, honey, this one's for you. Opium pour Homme. Age range, I've heard a lot of people say 40, 50, 60 plus. I think that's overrated, and I think a lot of younger guys should really appreciate this. And I think more and more of the younger crowd I'm starting to see are starting to appreciate Opium pour Homme, because it's unique and it's out of the ordinary of this ozonic aquatic fragrances that we have flooding the market today, which smell like blah. And they're starting to realize that this is a very sexy, very powerful, very romantic fragrance. Guys, I can't stress that enough. If you want that special lady, if you want that special guy to notice you and to say how good you smell and to be drawn towards you, Opium pour Homme works. Trust me, guys. I know when I wear this stuff, it is a magnet. Girls flock to me, even though I'm gay, and I will admit that. Girls flock to me like crazy. They're like, oh my God, what are you wearing? It smells so good. I wish my boyfriend would wear that stuff. And I'm talking about girls in their 20s. And guys will come, they will come from all different directions to find out when I'm in the gay club, whatever, or when I'm around groups of gay guys. But try this. If you don't want to blind buy it, go into a perfume store. Perfumania carries this stuff. Sometimes you'll be able to find it at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, and a lot of times they'll have a test. You can open up the box and say, I want to open up the box and spray it. They'll let you do that. Spray it, see what you think about it, let it dry down for a few minutes, and then purchase it, guys. I swear, this stuff is amazing. Projection, I would say it projects from about 10 to 15 feet before the final dry down. Ciliage is amazing. This stuff is a ciliage monster. Lasting power, the eau de toilette is, I would say, between 8 to 10 hours. I sprayed some on me today very lightly around 10:30, and I can barely smell hints of it, and it's 12:47 right now. I can barely smell hints of it. So yeah, now the eau de parfum, 20 hours plus. I swear to God, I would wake up the next day and still smell it. So that's the only difference. But there is no difference between this one, the scent wise, eau de toilette and the eau de parfum. It's an amazing scent. It's very intoxicating. It's very invigorating. It's very very manly, very romantic, very very sensuous. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a beautiful bottle. Do you see the 3D effect on the bottle? When you look here at the opium, and behind it you got another little round circle, and that's to give the illusion of being under the influence of opiates. Thus, Opium pour Homme. Let me tell you something, guys. This stuff is amazing. This is what I call my seduction in a bottle for men. Okay? This shit will seduce people. I'm not playing, guys. You better be prepared to get some ladies if you're straight. And if you're gay, you better be prepared to get some guys, honey, because let me tell you, this shit fucking attracts people. Sorry for the F-bomb, but I had to throw it in there. And I've also heard that a president of a very famous fashion magazine, I'm not going to say which one because that's infringement of copyright, wears Opium pour Homme and eau de parfum as her signature scent. So that tells you that this stuff is amazing, and it doesn't get as much appreciation as it needs to. It really needs more appreciation. And guys, if you want something that's really masculine, if you want something that's distinctly a masculine fragrance, that when you spray it on, you know that you are smelling like a man, then Opium pour Homme. Everywhere I've seen great reviews on it. I'm reviewing it myself, and I'm giving it a great review, and y'all know I've got several fragrance reviews on there, and I will not put my name or put a good review on something if I don't like it. I'll tell you straight up, it stanks. This stuff does not stank. It can be overpowering sometimes, so watch how you spray it. I mean, don't go crazy with the atomizer and spray 10, 15, 20 sprays on it. Usually what I do is one here, two here on each side, and then I'll open up my shirt and spray one down it, just like that, and it's perfect. Good to go. So that's my review for tonight of Opium pour Homme in the 3.3 ounce eau de toilette from Yves Saint Laurent, released in 1995. It's a Ciliage monster, and I give it 25,000 stars. And for you younger guys out there, 20 and plus, if you're mature and you like that mature manly scent, give this a try. That's my review for tonight. Oh yes, and it also came with a shower gel too as well. So this is the 3.3 ounce shower gel, and it came with a cute little Yves Saint Laurent bag. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it says YSL. There you go. Yep, YSL. Anyway, that's my fragrance review tonight. So y'all rate, subscribe, and comment. And yes, guys, try out Opium pour Homme. Man, I'm telling you, it's, if you want to smell like a man, and if you want that distinct manly scent, not rugged, not dirty, but manly, just an elegant, manly, butch man, just a man, then Opium pour Homme. That's my review. Rate, subscribe, and comment. Good night, everybody. This is Delta Boy 767.